real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Wayne Bradshaw rented an apartment with the defendant, and he says they wouldn't be in court if it were not for the defendant's constant partying and marijuana smoking, and the fact that he had sex in Wayne's mother's bed. Wayne is suing his former roommate for rent and court fines. Defendant Jose Baca Mendoza says Wayne is a heavy marijuana smoker too, and was once arrested for having pot, a scale, and Adderall in his car. Jose admits that the two of them even sold marijuana out of their apartment, and he insists he paid most of the rent while they lived together.
Tell me what happened.
Your Honor, we would not be here today if it wasn't for Jose's uncontrollable partying, continuous marijuana smoking, and the fact that he had sex in my mother's bed.
What? In your mom's bed? I never had sex in your mom's bed.
Let him finish, sir. Give me the circumstances. I don't understand. He lived in the home with you all, with you and your family?
Not exactly. I met Jose in the 6th grade, and we didn't really hang out until the end of high school. I started smoking weed with one of my friends, and then eventually I hung out with another friend, and 3 of us got together, me, Jose, and the other friend, and we just continued to hang out and started smoking. You know, I work, a lot, and so when I would get out of work, come home, hang out, smoke, and then eventually my mom found out, and she didn't exactly take kindly to it. We were smoking in the house one night, and she said, "You cannot do this anymore. It's either your friends can go, or you can go." And so we all 3 made the decision that we all can afford it together. So we ended up looking around for apartments, and found one for $665 a month.
How do we get to your mother's?
That's a side story.
Well, you threw me off, though. I need to know what about that. It was when he was living with you guys?
Not exactly. We ended up getting evicted from the apartment approximately 4 months after our tenancy had began in March of 2012. So we ended up moving back to my mom's house.
Okay, that's how.
Then,
all right, so you moved back. That's
happened.
when that happened. All right, give me some background, sir.
I've known him since middle school, and really, honestly, I think the real reason why we're here is because he got arrested for marijuana. He had a scale in the car and Adderall. And I known him since middle school. He was about his grades. He was responsible, and I was the complete opposite. I started smoking when I was 13. We hung out in middle school from time to time. We didn't really hang out in high school because he had a relationship for a long term. And after high school, we started hanging out again because, we started smoking weed, and his first time, he was kind of like.
Did you guys go to college or trade school or anything?
He was going to school, but I wasn't. I was still looking for a job, so we could move into the apartment. But when we moved in, it was like a complete frat house. It was like partying, drinking. There was weed selling in the house and everything. And
now you're admitting to a distribution of marijuana.
No,
it's one thing to talk about smoking, but now you're talking about selling, sir.
They were selling. I was just in the house smoking and everything.
I used to smoking.
Hey, not me. I was not selling.
Whatever, man. You guys. Let's get to the rent you're suing about.
Yeah. I'm suing for $115 for the unpaid rent of the beginning of our tenancy, which was March, and that was only half of the rent there, and then approximately $222 for April, May, June, and July.
What was he to pay each month? $222. Is that what his amount was?
Kind of. I mean,
was that your amount each month? $222.
Yeah, it was about.
All right.
Well, the rent was $665, so divided by 3, approximately that.
$222. And in March, did you pay?
I did get a little behind when we were living there, but after we got evicted, I started paying them approximately about $130 a week, and for like about 5 weeks.
You know I know better than that. Man get thrown out. He gonna pay $130 a week on a place he not even living at. Who you kidding? I still owe the people evicted me. Go ahead.
Yeah, anyways.
Pay nobody after you move out. That's the whole purpose.
Right.
The whole purpose of being put out is you don't want to pay.
Well,
so why do you get put out and go back and pay?
Because
You wouldn't have gotten put out in the first place if you'd have paid.
Because I do admit I owed him money, but I don't know him
there
the
you
full
I want
amount.
to hear you're an honest man. There you go. That's
I
the
don't know
good
him the
answer.
full amount.
And I'm
at least
honest. I did go back and pay the people.
Yeah.
Years and years and years later, but I did.
Not exactly true.
I did. How you gonna tell me what I did? That's not exactly true.
Actually, Your Honor, I beg to differ on that. No, but anyways, so like I said, we were living there for about it looks like 4 or 5 months or so, and I would come home from work every day. I worked a minimum of 48 hours a week, probably about 55 or so, and then him and the other roommate weren't exactly working at the time. The other one lost both of his jobs and totaled his car.
And see, this is what happens when folks party too much. You know, you all doing this obviously all during the week, instead of just waiting on the weekend when you don't have to go to work Saturday morning, when you don't have to go to work Sunday morning. You party Monday through Friday, knowing you have to get up and go to work. Save it for the weekend, all right?
All right.
And if you're gonna smoke weed, go to Colorado now, where it's legal, all right? Or Washington.
I got him a job where I work. I work at a restaurant called Mr. Burger. I'm a manager there. I've worked there for about 5 years.
That, Mr. Burger.
Yeah, that's a good. I know you wanted to be right near the munchies, huh? Go ahead.
But anyways, I worked there for like 5 years or so, management, all that. But
Good.
so I got him a job, you know,
Good.
and then it wasn't working out. He tried to get a factory job, and then it wouldn't work out, and then another job, it wouldn't work out. And so I'm working all day, and they're chilling at the house, sitting on the futon, playing PlayStation, smoking blunt after blunt, and
Like we didn't like.
You're a
get
good
tired of
friend.
it.
You're a good friend.
Hey, I came home. I would come home, and I would, you know, I'm ready to spark one too. But you know, I would come home to about at least 8 people in my house, never less than that. And you know, I would come home every single night for about 2 months until it was finally just the 3 of us.
Yeah, but I never invited them over. It was
Oh, that's true. I'm not
the other
denying that. I'm just saying that it was all a big party while we were
So,
there.
what are the court fines for?
He got in trouble like, I don't know, a year or 2 ago for, I don't know. I don't exactly know what it was for. And
Weed and
no,
liquor.
No, it wasn't that.
No, it was malicious destruction of property.
Like I said, weed and liquor.
No, I was sober. I
Same
was sober.
thing. You get drunk and start destroying stuff. Go
But
ahead.
anyways, so after we had moved out into the house, after we had moved out of the apartment into my mom's house, I had already created a tab of, you know, this is how much you owe me for this month, and that month, and so on. And for the other roommate too, because he wasn't working. And he ended up paying me back everything that he owed me. So we moved into my mom's house, and there were a couple of conditions. One of them was $150 a month for rent, and then we weren't allowed to smoke in the house, and we weren't supposed to have girls over.
And no sex in mom's bed.
No sex in mom's bed, yeah. Now,
I never had sex.
I gotta give Jose props, because while we were there, I didn't get any, you know. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it was kind of...
And if you had, it wouldn't have been in mom's room.
Right, yeah,
right?
I wouldn't have took that route.
You've told me how he owes you, and you admit to owing some. Do you owe all of what he's suing you for?
No,
or what do you
I have a small
contest?
breakdown here. Of,
Let me see your breakdown. He has
Breakdown.
given me his. And the fines, do you?
I do agree about the fines, but we never had an exact day of when to pay him back. I told him I would pay him back whenever I had
He
the money.
claims he has paid you $130 for 5 weeks, and that was from July 9 through August 10.
That is not true.
How much has he paid you?
The last 2 payments that I received were of $200.
When?
$100 each. I don't have an exact date. It was right after my mom.
What month?
Probably August or September. He gave me $100 2
And you
weeks in a row.
subtracted that?
Yes. I already did that in the breakdown of everything that I had written up.
Where? All I see is 115 for March, and I don't see anything subtracted
I have-
for what he has given you.
I have this here.
That's what you gave me there, that
I
breakdown.
also have all of this here. I have all of this information here. A resident ledger of all of the times we've been charged. And then I also have all of these paperwork, all this paperwork here of all of the times that I've paid anything.
Show me where you've given him credit for the amount he has given you.
Oh boy. Okay.
He says he's given you $650. Between July and August.
I've received $200
All
total.
right. Do you have anything that shows you subtracted 200 because the amount you're suing for does not accommodate the 200 that you're talking about? You're suing him for April, May, June, July for the full amount. For March, you've only sued him for half the amount, 100 or a little over half, 115. The amount you're suing for today does not include the subtraction of the 200. How much do you say you owe?
I owe him $353 for rent and whatever I owe him for the...
$350 for rent and $314 for the fines, and that's your judgment, sir. You could not prove any of the other stuff. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I feel like we're gonna be cool still. It's not like we had a problem. It's just that we had a disagreement on how much that he owed me.
You know, I paid what I had to pay, and I'm still stuck with whatever's left. So, I mean, it shouldn't affect our friendship. So.